JJ, you have been reviewing a game. You kind of mentioned it a little bit on a
Yeah, we talked about it
podcast.
on the last time I was on
Yeah.
the side quest part 1. When you put the audio up, you could just kind of split them together and
Yeah, it's
create
true.
one
It's
master
true.
review. Yeah, El Shaddai, El Shaddai, however they depending on what
Right.
world English you decide to go on is it's the game that I have been playing, HD Remaster, which is a really goofy thing to put in a title for a game that was initially in HD. So I don't know.
I love it. But
Yeah,
now it's really in HD this
yeah.
time.
Now it's like, I mean, but it's on the Switch, so is it really in like that much more HD? Uh, no, but yeah. So uh, this game came out in like what 2011 initially on the
Something like that.
360 and
Yeah.
the PS3. Um, this game came out at a time where like small independent games could somehow get a massive marketing budget,
Hmm.
because boy, this game had quite the marketing force behind it. I think we all knew about it, even though it's probably something we probably shouldn't have really all known about, but it just
Sure. Sure.
but anyways, it's a very biblical, like it is Old Testament. Everything in it is based off of like Old Testament stuff, like the Final Fantasy VII motorcycle scene, as you can see in the trailer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's still
everyone's
there.
favorite everyone's favorite part of the Old Testament was when Enoch fought a giant robot motorcycle monster. um no, but in all seriousness, it's actually like really super cool. It's just a very simple. We throw around like the perfect seven thing a lot, since that's our PAX East panel stuff. But this is the game that sort of like in my brain lives as the uh like this and 50 Cent Blood on the Sand
Hmm.
and stuff like that, where it's like this is what created that thought in my brain of like, yeah, no, sometimes you need to just strive for making a perfectly cromulent playing game, and just like slather it with style, which
Sure.
is exactly what this is. This game is just so jam packed full of style. Like it seems like it's just a 3D action platformer, but then it'll go into some weird like 2D side scrolling stuff, and like every like level of the tower that you're going through, like it changes the aesthetic all the way up. Um I I don't know. It's just one of those things that like they don't make games. They don't make them like they used to.
Hmm. Yeah.
But things that are kind of specific here is okay. So this game came out. They kind of quote unquote remastered it for PC a handful of years ago and re-released it on Steam. Which was the basis of that one was the PS3 version, and thusly the Switch version. So the version that just came out, this version that we're reviewing is the Switch version, and that's the only version. There's no PS5 or Xbox version
Hmm.
or something. It's a Switch version. So technically, this is technically a PS3 port on the Switch.
Hmm.
Which, if you look at interviews, even they were like, "I don't know how we're gonna do this," but they say porting it to the PC really helped them get it to the Switch. So
Hmm.
that was sort of the thing. And with that, you get a pretty good performance for this game, because there's times where a lot's going on, a lot of enemies on the screen at once. With the combat is, you have sort of three options. You have like three weapons that you can sort of choose through. But in order to choose your weapon, you have to defeat an enemy with that particular weapon and like claim the weapon. So you get like your sword-esque weapon, your gun-esque weapon or projectile weapon, and your like shield and melee weapon. And like different
Hmm.
enemies have it. When you fight them, you push one of the shoulder buttons, when they're staggered, and you can steal the weapon so it disarms them. You purify the weapon, and then you can use it. If you use the weapon too much, it turns red, and you have to push the shoulder button again to purify it, and that way like when it's been corrupted, it does less damage. So you have to purify it to make the damage go up again. Bible stuff.
Sure.
Bible stuff. So like there's a lot of moving pieces in this, and it runs fine on the Switch. There are times where there's slowdown, and in any other game I would be like, hey, you kind of expect this from the Switch, but at the same time with this particular game I'm like, that may just be stylistic for this game. I haven't played this game's original form in a while. Maybe it just kind of slowed down during some crazy boss fight moments, or the game is just struggling to animate this giant boss doing crazy shit to you. I don't know. I'm going to assume it's just Switch performance stuff, but by and large it holds its frame rate really well. It looks really good for like you could tell it's not just like a simple like up-res. It's like I think they just gave us better assets for some of the stuff, because some of the backgrounds and stuff still look kind of out of place. You know how sometimes you get those HD remasters like this one where it's like it's really only the character and enemy and item models that get the HD treatment, and everything in the background, and so it's like these high def crisp characters on a less than crisp map.
Sure.
It's kind of like that, but overall, yeah, this game's super fun, super cool story. It's still disappointing this game does sort of end unfinished, because it wasn't super successful. This is the studio's one and done kind of game. They retained the rights a little while later, so there is like a follow-up to this game, but it's not El Shaddai 2. It's something completely different, but it's like, I guess, just set in the universe, but at the same time it is the Bible, so technically every game is set in, in this universe in some way. So but yeah, no, you know what, I was glad to go back to this game. I haven't played it since back in its original form on the Xbox 360. Yeah, I was glad to go back to it. I think this is one of those perfect sevens. I really do. I really think that it's not, gameplay wise, it's not doing anything particularly exciting. It is doing something kind of unique with the way the weapon system works and the purification, and it just kind of got a samurai thing with it where you're like wiping the blood off your sword, except it's like impurities of demons. Yes, I know my camera went out. It's it's fine.
Straight to jump into this game, it seems like.
Yeah. It's just you jump straight into it. It just oozes style, and as far as I'm concerned, like that's the most important thing for me for a game like this. Like if you're not going to be reinventing the wheel in any sort of meaningful way, just lather on the style, and I'm happy. So yeah, no, I would definitely recommend this particular game. I don't know, like I kind of want to see what the Steam version, how its performance is. I may keep my eyes out for it, just for deals, and see just to see. I didn't compare anything. It's not like I don't need any. I don't need to know. I just want to know. It's because the performance issues weren't really all that significant enough to like put out a whole section of a review towards it. I think.
Got it.
So yeah, no, highly enjoyed it. Just as good as I remember it. I didn't remember a whole lot of it, to be honest. So it was great. It unlocked memories of a time long gone. So yeah.
And now it's portable.
And now it's on the go. You couldn't ask for any more. It's actually like, this is one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm glad portable gaming exists, because this is the perfect game to just kind of kick back on, like you're in your bed, or like on like a lazy boy or something, and just chill.